So I have this new product to show you today. Very excited about it. But first, a little bit of history. About a little over 10 years ago, I came up with the Easy Tuner. It was a way to gain an advantage in F-Class. The original design was made in such a way that, if you guys know what I'm talking about, the Easy Tuner, the original, it's inch 250 straight. So when you put it on an inch 250 barrel, it's very hard to know that it's there. So the intent was to hide it in plain sight. And I use set screws with nylon tips to provide tension. They were not set screws, they were tension screws, so that I could turn the tuner without tools. Again, I wanted, if I needed, adjust the tuner, I just wanted people to see me kind of go over there and, I don't know, it was going to see like I'm just grabbing onto the barrel, but obviously I was tuning the tuner. But again, I didn't want any tools or anything, which was the purpose for the design, right? So anyway, that Easy Tuner turned out to be a great success, even though I was trying to hide it. What happened is a friend of mine, Stephen Blair, he won the California Championship with it. This is after I've been hiding it for a while. And Accurate Shooter did an article on him, and he sent in a picture of his rifle, and they zoomed in on the tuner, and they said he's running an Easy Tuner, and the rest is history, as they say. Fast forward to about 2016 or 17, something like that. I started kind of playing around with PRS, just not formally, but just started showing up some matches. Well, what I did is I took that Easy Tuner and I put tapers in the back because I was using it on an MTU barrel. And then I mounted it behind my muzzle brake. And of course, the PRS guys saw it. They asked about it. And now there's tuners all over PRS, which is amazing. So anyway, that's how it's been going for the Easy Tuner for the last 10 years or so. I'm willing to say the Easy Tuner is probably the most copied design ever just because of its simplicity. But while others were too busy copying it, we kind of been busy improving on it. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. So when I decided to redesign the Easy Tuner, I reached out to my friend John Myers. John Myers is a 6-time individual national champion in F-Class. And he always had a tuner, and I'm going to say that he's one of the tuner experts of the world. So I reached out to him. He was gracious enough to help me with the new design. And let me show you what we came up with. First of all, the set screws are gone. No more set screws. Technically, they're tension screws. They were not meant to lock the tuner down. They're meant to snug the tuner down enough that you can still turn it by hand, yet allow it to stay put when you're not having to turn it. But anyway, so again, the set screws are gone. They were great. They served their job and they were simple. The main thing about a tuner, it needs to be repeatable. Repeatability is key, right? Because that's the whole name of the game. If you can't repeatedly get it back to the same setting, then you kind of spinning your wheels because it's going to seem as if it wasn't consistent, right? And then you may lose faith in tuners altogether just because you just think it's not consistent. Anyway, what we did is on the new tuner, we use a spring. The spring allows the tuner to always be pushed up against the threads in one direction. So it doesn't matter if you're going in, if you're coming out, it's always preloaded. So backlash is gone, super repeatable. Also, it's bigger. A lot of people were saying that, the tuner's great, but it's kind of hard to turn. It's small, and so we made it bigger. The numbers are easier to see. I mean, I am getting older, so I made a bigger body. You can see the numbers a lot better. And also we put flats on the perimeter of the tuner so that when you grab it, you have some grip, right? Sometimes your hands are wet, it's raining, whatever. Now you can just grab on the tuner and just turn it. So one more thing that we added to this tuner is an O-ring on the end of the tuner on the inside. This is going to keep solvent from dripping down your bore and finding its way between the barrel and the tuner. With the original tuner, sometimes as you were cleaning, it dripped down and then find its way between the two. So now with that O-ring, that's going to keep that from happening. Also, with the original tuner, you start at flush and then you move the tuner out from there. So sometimes, well, most of the time, the tuner is going to overhang the muzzle of the barrel. This new tuner, the version 2, you start at flush and you work your way in towards the scope. Enough of that. you're going to hear a lot more about this tuner. You can go to our website, shootsmallgroups.com. There's a link in the description, and you can go check it out. We have them in black nitride and stainless. Again, I'm getting older. I like the black nitride better just because I can see the numbers better. There's a contrast between, the white numbers and the black background. But hey, whatever floats your boat. By the way, it also looks great. Like Speedy says, if you can't shoot good, at least you can look good doing it. Let me show you right quick. We went to the range. We took a brand new barrel. I mean, literally brand new. Sighted it in at 100. And then we used the tuner to tune the load. Now, this load is from my other barrel. They're very similar, but it's still a different barrel. When I do new barrels, I don't start working up a load immediately. I typically take a load from the previous barrel. I simply use the tuner to tune it, and then I get some practice, and then after I get about 50 to 100 rounds through that barrel, then I start tuning. But anyway, that's what we did here. Went to 100, tuned it, and then immediately moved back to 1,000 to see how it went, and that's what I'm going to show you today. That was pretty good. Here started to open up, kind of vertical. Then it came together, came together, came together, came together. I'm between these two. This one was good. This one was really good. That's 2 shots in this little tiny hole, the third one right there. This one's really good. This one's really good. You know what I mean? That's 3 shots, 3 shots, 3 shots, 3 shots. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm thinking we go to 25 and call it a day. All right, so we settled on setting 25. The reason for that, it's in the middle of a lot of good groups, right? Right now, we're just looking for consistency. Now we're gonna move back to 1,000 yards and do some verification groups. Okay, so now we moved back to 1,000 yards. All I did was come up 24 MOA, and I'm gonna shoot a 5-shot group, and I'm just holding dead center. That's why you see the group is off to the right. I don't care where the group is. All I wanna know is how good it'll group at 1,000. So anyway, here it is. We're shooting an electronic target, and this is the first 5 shots out of this barrel at 1,000 yards ever. Now this load, like I said, is from my other barrel, and it's a very good load. However, it is not tuned in this barrel, so all we did with this barrel is turn that tuner. So anyway, as you're seeing, this is going really, really good. It's shooting above my expectations, honestly. But anyway, it happens. But like I said, it's only been tuned by the tuner at this point. So that's a 1.9 inch group at 1,000 yards. All right, so the other thing about this tuner is you can use it on your rimfire. We make these adapters just like we used to do for the Easy Tuner, the version 1. We make these adapters. This one, for example, is a half 28. You have a half 28 thread on your barrel. Just thread it right on here. Just like that. Get you an adjustable wrench. Put some duct tape or something on there just so it doesn't mar the adapter. And just get it on there nice and tight. Once it's on there, get you some anti-seize on the threads. Remember, this one is going to be spring loaded at all times. So you want anti-seize on these threads. You kind of want anti-seize on the other threads as well, on the tuners, the other tuners. But the idea is get some anti-seize on there. Then you're going to slide the spring in. We have this washer. It goes in. The washer goes between the spring and the tuner. So spring, washer, tuner. Okay. The tuner, you're going to have to push it in and turn it. The spring engaged. Now you're going to go in until it is flush on the front. But you're going to go until it's flush in the front, just like that. And what I suggest you do is line up the zero. Once you go to flush, you can line up the zero anywhere you want. I'd rather you do it past flush. I don't want you to be this way. I want you to go that way, okay? So for example, arch zero lined up, you can line it up there, you can line it up. It doesn't matter where you line it up, as long as you have a reference point. From there, you can put a hash mark, you can put a Sharpie mark, just whatever you want. You can put a sticker, whatever you want, just so you can keep track of the tuner, okay? And that's it. That's the installation right there. Once it's installed, if you want to remove it, you actually can just remove the entire thing. Let me flip the wrench. Okay? And now you can remove the whole thing altogether. Okay? But this is what it looks like. Okay? When it's installed. See that? Flush. The other tuner, you would tune coming out. This one you're going to tune going in. You see the zero mark is right there, and then 5 is this way, so you have to go that way. Okay? And 10, 15. You're going to tune every 5 marks. That's where you're going to check your tune. Okay? So you can see you get 1 full revolution right there. 2 revolutions. 3. So you should get about 2.5 to 3 depending on where you're at. And that's it. Pretty simple. The other thing that we did, as I mentioned earlier, we have an O-ring over here, so that's going to keep solvent from going back under. Now, that's on your half 28. These adapters are going to come in half 28, 5/8 24, 3/4 24, M18 by 1, and just a lot others. So whatever thread you have, you're going to be able to run one of these tuners on there. Now, if you have a version 1 tuner, you know, that's already pre-machined into your barrel, and now you want to upgrade to the version 2, let me show you how you can do that. All right, so if you have a barrel that has been machined for the EC Tuner already, this is what you're going to do. Of course, I already removed the set screws, or the tension screws. Remove the screws, or just loosen them, just enough to allow you to take this off. So, loosen the screws, back the tuner off completely. Remove it. If you have a straight barrel, like an inch 250, you can get one of our 850 24 straight adapters. Again, you're going to put some Loctite, or even Loctite is fine. I would personally use Loctite Blue. I'm not going to do it right now, but I suggest that you do. Get it on here. I would suggest Loctite Blue, Loctite for any adapter. Put it on here. Obviously, get it on here nice and tight. And then you're going to do the same thing as we did earlier. You take the tuner. We're going to put some Loctite on the threads. Not Loctite, but anti-seize. You want anti-seize here, Loctite here. Blue Loctite. Again, same thing. Spring. Nylon washer goes against the spring or the tuner. Push it in, engage the threads, and just get it on there until it's flush with the muscle over here. Again, once installed, on this one I had to do slightly past flush. But once you do, put a mark on there and you're done. You're ready to go. Now, this one doesn't have any screws or anything, but it's still relatively hard to turn. You'll see, it's not going to turn on its own. But that's what it looks like. So if you have an EC Tuner, even a tapered one, it doesn't matter. You can do this adapter and it'll work just fine. Now, if you have a tapered one, you're going to want to get the tapered adapter. The same thing as this one, except it's tapered. So if you have a barrel that uses a tapered tuner, use this adapter. It's still 850-24, and it's gonna go on your barrel just like that. So pretty simple. You can use it on anything you want. Obviously rimfire, center fire, and like I said, if you have a version 1, you want to upgrade it to version 2, just get an adapter. You're good to go. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Go to the website and order yours today. We have some in stock at the moment, but there's more being made right now. The adapters, we have pretty much every thread available at the moment. Black nitride, we're gonna have them pretty soon. All right, thank you. Keep them centered.